Hey, what's going on? This is one over show. You know Ken Spence. The tactical pass is backwards. It's not going to show. It's backwards. Anyway. So, I shared a picture over on Instagram and said I'm going to, get showing some stuff. And so I went to Dollar Tree and I bought some stuff. And so these 3 bottles came together. That right there is a small power station. I'm actually I ain't getting into that because I bought that with my own money. That's from Jackery, but it's a good drink, you know what I'm saying? Keep it nearby. This is witch hazel. Now this, I am not going to use or do anything with this witch hazel from Dollar Tree. It is good, you know what I'm saying, for your skin, so forth, but isopropyl 91% alcohol. Now, I'm going to use this. I'm not going to use this. Well, we'll use this, but for something else later. But what we're going to do is these bottles. Now, this package, again, this is $125 at the Dollar Tree. This is stated as being 3-piece travel bottles. Now, this right here you can travel with, but isopropyl, Ken, what are you going to do? And I'm going to show you in one moment. Okay, so what we're going to do, and it's a blessing you get these 2, but I ran out of hand sanitizer, and so that's what we're going to make. Of course, just took the dog out. I'm actually going to do some other things with this. A little while later, we're going to look at this vanilla bean as well as others. We're going to make some vanilla flavoring, but that takes a year to make. Anyway, we're going to go here. Now, this right here, these 3 things are the main things I got from Dollar Tree. You'll also need a cup big enough for this, as well as a whisk, because we're going to mix this thing down. All right, so I'm going to put this temporarily to the side, and then we're going to get into it. Now, there's one other item that I did purchase from Dollar. I didn't purchase from Dollar Tree. I actually purchased this Aloe Vera 100% gel. Okay, now here is where this really takes on life, if you will, of its own. So I'm gonna kind of jump a little bit on this, and here's why I say this right here is important. Now, if you already got this, you ain't got to buy it, but I will say you can do this, and once you understand how to do it, trust me, it's the easiest thing in the world. Now, together, we're talking about $4, $125, $125. The bottles, $125. So what's that? 75 cents. 1, 2, 3, 75. So $3.75 plus 4. So you're talking about $7.75. So still under $10. I know I said $10 because I got Reese's witch hazel and something else. Yeah, I got some rope, and that's another story as to why. So you're gonna live with this one. These are the cheap ones. So of course you get a half cup, whole cup. Yeah, you get. I'm looking at it and not showing you. So you get half cup. You get a whole cup. And right here is where you're going to live, 1/3 cup. And why this is important, why this is so simple and easy to break down. Let me open all this up. I guess I should really just kind of sit right here. You know, that's a bag we use. Anyway, or a bag that has been used. But 1/3 is the cup you're going to use. Now, you need 3/3, which is 1 whole, if you remember fractions in elementary school. Here's the blessed part about this. Blessed part about this is really the 1/3 cup is what we're going to use primarily. And what you have is, of the aloe vera, you're going to use 1/3. But the reason I said 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3, or 3/3 altogether. So 1 whole is what you're going to get. So 1/3 cup of aloe vera, 2/3 cup of isopropyl alcohol. With a 1/3 cup here, you just know, okay, I'll do 1 with this, and then I'll do 2 with this. Hope that makes sense. Let me show you. We're going to break this thing. Here is, indeed, how simple this will be. Now, again, we're only using 1/3 for the aloe vera, okay? And that's what I've used. It doesn't matter the brand. You want it to be 100% gel, but it really does not matter the gel, the brand. I'm going to take the top off so that we get more out at a time as opposed to through a bottle. So we simply, and it's moving. think one anyway. Oh yeah. I'll tell you kids, you're farting. My son is at his friend's house, so we're in good shape. Now, to sit and wait for this to render, it because it's a gel, it's going to come through a little bit. Now, just for good measure, because while this is being pushed down, while this is here like this, it sometimes can be, you want to make sure you have 1/3, okay? All right, that's definitely 1/3, okay? And then you take it. Now, the cool part about this, I'm going to mention a few other things while we're here, but the cool part about this is when you make it and then you mix it, because you're going to need to mix it. That's why you got the whisk. You could use a fork or a spoon. But this, now, there are some, I do it a little different. I don't put the alcohol first, I put this first. Why? Because this also helps to get this out of here. You may find others that do it differently. But it does help to clear out this cup. Again, this is 2/3 of this. So as this gets filled, that's 1/3. That's 1. And that's 2. 2/3 of a cup. Now, this also helps to alleviate this. Now, I say alleviate, that's not the right term. Anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of talking. This is going to take some time, so I may. I'm definitely going to stop it at a certain point. But something you should understand why this portion of mixing it, you want to make sure it's held firmly. Oh, Lord, I hit the... Anyway, held firmly. I'm going to take this. I'm going to turn this like so. Make sure that cap is tight. Make sure that cap is tight. Now, the reason you're whisking it is so that this thing can bond together. It's going to take some time. Like, that's just honest. Make sure you get the sides. But it's going to take some time. Now, I will say a few things about this. The reason I decided to make, and I'm not going to lie to you, I wanted to make a big batch of this primarily. As a matter of fact, while I'm mixing, let's talk. So while I'm mixing this, we'll talk. And as you can see, it gets gray. Now, the reason I wanted to do this was partially an experiment. It really was just that. I just wanted a quick experiment. I could do it with my son. I think we went to do it. He was like, oh, okay, you weren't really interested. Okay. So I'm like, all right, cool. I want to do it. And the reason I want to do it is primarily because thanks to the pandemic, quarantine, hand sanitizer with prices were just astronomical. I mean, it didn't, and this is, I'm not talking about one particular supplier of it, but I mean, yeah, you go ahead and try and find it. Good Lord. You're talking about a headache, primarily because the prices were ridiculous. And a lot of the reason why I even got into prepping was because of the quarantine. And so this actually saved a lot of money. Now, there are some other hand sanitizers. Like, I actually have a brand over here from Walmart from way back. I think nobody had finished it. And what you'll find is that the ingredients are inactive ingredients, glycerin, a whole bunch of other stuff. It does make you think like, well, what else are they putting in our stuff? And because sometimes every hand sanitizer you get is not the same. Now, I did stop mixing this. Now, why aloe vera and alcohol? Alcohol is a sanitizer, but alcohol dries out your hands, along with those other ingredients in other types of hand sanitizer that you'll find a whole bunch of other stuff in there. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting. With this homemade hand sanitizer, you know precisely what you're getting. Aloe vera is actually good for the skin. It does come from a plant, you understand? So it is good for the skin. As a matter of fact, looking at this, the ingredients are aloe vera. Y'all ain't heard me. The ingredients are aloe vera. That's it. You understand? So it's why. Now, y'all remember how cloudy and gray this was? a little bit clearer. Now I'm mixing for a little bit longer just because of how I am. Now, something that will happen when we pour it in the bottle. Now, you see, I didn't spend a lot of time talking with you, and this is a bit clear. I'm still whisking, but it is a bit clear. Something you should know about this. When this goes in the bottle, it will sit and eventually turn to like how this hand sanitizer is. It'll turn there because it's continuing to work on each other, the alcohol as well as the aloe vera. You don't have to remix it. You don't have to shake it again. You know, sometimes it separates depending on what you got, depending on whatever you got, and you got to mix it again. But this right here is simple. You follow? It's simple. And it's not taking that long because even looking at it right now, this is well mixed together. You see that? A little cloudy, but hand sanitizer typically is. So here's the cool part, and here's why I actually used this tool. Now, I'm gonna stop this right here. All right, so these come in a 3-pack. There's one that's a spray. At the moment, I'm not certain as to the quality of the sprayer, but there are some things you can mix. We'll do some other stuff, and we'll do that. But with these 2 bottles, see how they look like sanitizer bottles? They're designed for other things like soap and what do you call it? Soap and shampoo and things of that nature. So here's where this now gets really cool. With just this here. Now, if you have a funnel, and I do, tell me, if I could tell you where it is, I would. I have no idea where it is right now. Funnel for small bottles. But with the right mixing jar, you see what we're doing? And this just happens to be the right cup. Measuring cup, measuring glass. I like to fill all the way up. Fill as much as possible. Now we're going to give it space. Just a little bit of space. You see that? It's not a lot of space. This one has a little bit more. But what happens is this will congeal. Now, one thing I thought to do was actually to put this in the freezer. We still got some left over. I might conduct an experiment because Ken Spence is unafraid of experimentation. Sanitizer 1. Like, very unafraid of experimentation. And I know that they have some sanitizers that you can spray. So I want to see what takes place. This is just me being me, experimenting. And because I also don't want to discard the rest of this. You know. Oh, and it's not going to overfill it. That's perfect. You see it mixing? So, the final step, final part, that is important and imperative to know, to grasp, and indeed to understand, is you want to take all this and you want to let it sit. You want to let it sit, whether you let it sit out or in your car or wherever you might have use of it, you want to let it sit. Now, again, I am unafraid of experimenting. I won't do it with this because this is a spray and, oh wow, it's congealing well. Let's see. My wife might actually like this one because it works. 91%. Oh Lord. But this is a spray. This is a dropper. So you can actually, in looking at it right now, you probably come out more liquidy. It works and works all right. So I'm going to check this. Now, what I might do, because I am who I am, I'm going to leave this one out. I'm going to put this in the fridge. And the reason I want to put this in the fridge, I want to see what happens. Will this gel faster? Yeah, you see how slow that is? No wonder this makes faster. This, because it was toward the end. Even this, yeah, these I'm going to leave out. Mind you, because this is a spray and I don't want things to get frozen in there and I've already sprayed it. I don't want that. So, how to make hand sanitizer. Homemade hand sanitizer. I know some of you might be like, wow, I never thought to do that. But you're talking about for $1.25, it's still there. We only use that much. For $7, I'd actually used some before, so I had it down to here. And so we really only use about that much. So $7, $4. So this is $5.25 together. Just this. You probably already have the mixing bowl. You probably already have the whisk or fork. You probably already have the measuring cups or the measuring spoons. But this right here, $5.25 goes a lot further than paying $5.25 for this or $3 for this, because this is indeed limited. Now, mind you, when this become empty, guess who's going to make some more and put it in it and use it? Show enough him. So now you get to reuse even the materials you have. So this is just one of those quick things I just wanted to share. Just want to drop. Hope it's helpful. Hope you might have been thinking about this. You probably found it even on other channels. This is Ken Spence doing experiments. I'm going to make an update in terms of the one that's in the fridge. Oh yeah, that's congealing. The one that's in the fridge and the two that I left out. And I'll let you know. We're going to update. We'll talk about it later. But look here. It's the Tactical Pastor. God bless you. God keep you. And Lord willing, see you at the next time to help you with your preps. Listen, this is about Christianity, family, and prepping. All of these things go together. God bless you. God keep you. I'll talk with you later. What's going on, Ken Folk? It's the One Over Show. You know Ken Spence still here. Follow. So it's less than, no, it's a little more than 12 hours since I've made these. This was in the refrigerator. Now, mind you, it looks like this primarily because I shook it up, much of it. And I had to add a little bit more aloe vera. And my son wants to get into the video. Don't realize it's coming all over the internet or showing up all over the internet. He'll see it. Anyway, but this, as you can see, I had to add a little bit more aloe vera for it to look like this. This is the one from the fridge. Now, this is the one that I left out. You see that? That flows or is moving like it's just pure water or pure alcohol. It is mixing. You can see the jelly there. I did have to add a little bit more because I don't believe it was 100% or really 1/3. Now here's something that's interesting. That was the one that was sitting out. I just shook it up. It will render over time. This one didn't need to be shaken up. And as you squeeze it, it comes out very gelatinous. So this one, I'm like, oh, this, while it looks more liquidy, this actually seats more or operates more. So it's interesting the way the process did. I think we need, and it crossed my mind to do half and half because that seemed to make sense. But I'm like 1/3 and 2/3. I remember as the recipe, I've seen it for a bunch of times. Again, it's been about a year. I said I wanted to do this, but I didn't. So what does that mean? Nothing bad. Just, again, this is experimentation. And you want to know something? I'll be able to make more of this. I know some folks, oh, just buy it. That's cool. That's cool. But again, if you didn't have to buy it, you just buy the ingredients and you make it. Kind of like baking a cake. Have we become lazy as a society? I'm not saying this is a treatise on that, but it is something to consider. With that, God bless you. God keep you.